Before I begin ranking, I have a couple things to say. First of all, Bloodborne is the only Souls game that won't be included in this video, just because the game doesn't have any traditional dragon boss. The only thing that comes close is Abridus, but I don't think it counts anyway. And also, I'm not going to be going over every single dragon boss in the Souls series, because if I do that, the video is going to be way too long and it's going to be like 60% Elden Ring. So this video is only going to be the main and unique dragon bosses in the series. Demon Souls is a game that has some good bosses, but it's very clear that they didn't really know what they were doing when they made the game. Like, it seems like sometimes they wanted to make the game stand out as something very hard, and other times it felt like they were just trying to make a normal action-adventure game. I have nothing against gimmick bosses, but the Dragon God just doesn't do anything well. Like, yeah, it's aesthetically cool, but really you're just trying to run around at the right time so he doesn't kill you immediately. And the most action that you're gonna get is just pressing a button. It's just not an interesting fight, and it's not something that anyone would look forward to on subsequent playthroughs. Like, no one is saying the Dragon God in Demon Souls is my favorite boss. The Ancient Wyvern has a similar situation. I'm like 100% sure that the only reason that this boss is here is because FromSoft realized they didn't put an actual dragon boss in the dragon area in Dark Souls 3, so they panicked and then this is what they came up with. It's crazy that it's even in this video because at this point it's just not even a boss. Essentially, you see the boss, then you have to run around it, go through a bunch of other enemies, and then you have to go on a ledge, jump off, and you have to make sure that you hit it in the head. Now, to be fair, this is really cool, but if you mess it up, it is really annoying to have to go all the way back around. It just feels rushed, there's no reason for it to be here. It's just annoying. It's hard to even rank the Ancient Dragon as a fight because you really shouldn't even fight this thing. Like, the run back to this is probably one of the worst in the game. It literally makes you feel like you're doing the wrong thing, which you are because this dragon does not provoke you when you first see it. And the fight really does punish you because a lot of the attacks feel like bullshit, but at the same time, it is still kind of your fault because he wasn't going to kill you. So like, story-wise, he's kind of cool, but in terms of a fight, he's just not good at all. Like, you just don't fight him. Seath the Scaleless is a real fight, and is kind of iconic, I think. Like, the lead up to him is really cool, the way he traps you in a cell and you have to escape and then you come back for revenge. But as far as compliments go, that's where it stops because this fight is just a nothing burger. Like, yeah, you stand in front of him and then you attack him and then you win. Again, you can tell in Dark Souls they were still learning like how to make bosses and how the mechanics would work with bosses, so you can't really get too mad at them for it, but it just doesn't age well at all. You really shouldn't die to this boss, but if you do, it's probably because you're trying to cut off his tail, which is one of the most annoying things to do in the game. And I will say his run back is one of the most annoying in the game as well, because it's just really trippy since you're walking on like invisible floors. You're like trying to avoid enemies and it takes like 2 minutes every single time. So yeah, it's just mid. At least it's an actual fight though, but it's just not anything crazy. God, I hate to put him this low, but Calamite is the next worst boss. His moveset hypothetically should be better than it is, but because he's stuck in Dark Souls, it makes it a lot worse because it's so hard to learn how to beat him, given how clunky the controls are. Like, it kind of just feels like he's in the wrong game. Because being as slow as you are in Dark Souls and only being able to roll in 4 directions just makes this fight kind of miserable. Like, don't get me wrong, the lead up to him is awesome, his design is awesome, his arena is really cool, and honestly, lore-wise, he's one of my favorite dragons in the series. His fight is just better than the game's mechanics, and so it's not that fun. Like, if this boss was in Dark Souls 2, it would be way higher because that would just make more sense. It feels really weird to put the Gaping Dragon above Calamite, because honestly, I do like Calamite more, but as a fight, the Gaping Dragon is just better. It's worth saying that his design is also really cool. On subsequent playthroughs, I kind of just ignore this guy because there's really no need to fight him, but when I do, I think that he's a really reasonable fight. Like, there's nothing that seems too unfair for the game's mechanics the way Calamite feels, and overall, he feels like just a fun boss. It may be a hot take to put him here, I don't know, but he's at the very least good. Not crazy, but good. I feel pretty much the same about the Guardian Dragon, except I like it a little bit more. The arena is really cool in this fight, and there's really nothing in this fight that feels unfair, which honestly for dragon fights is a little uncommon. It's not necessarily the most mechanically impressive, but it is very fun. It's still only good because it doesn't do anything crazy, and the fight is over pretty quick. But every single time I fight this guy, I do think he's fun, which is why I'd put him here. Sin the Slumbering Dragon is a very conflicting fight, because I actually really do like the fight itself. It's just the way you do damage to this boss is very strange. So if you hit his body or his legs, then your weapon durability will go down very, very quickly. But if you hit his head and his neck, then it won't. So you really have to aim for his head the entire time, which I didn't know in this footage. And like, that's an okay gimmick, I guess. It's just a little like cheap. I understand you can just use repair powder if you don't want to go through the work to just only hit his head. But I do like his fight, like his moveset is really good. I really like his arena, and his design is also very good. He has like 1 or 2 attacks that I think are annoying. And I do just think the durability thing can get old very quickly. But other than that, he's definitely a very good boss. Okay, now we're in the realm of like really, really good fights. Lich Dragon Fortisax is a very good fight. The arena is just crazy looking, and while he can come off as just another lightning dragon like the other ones in Elden Ring, I think his moveset is actually pretty unique for his design being somewhat similar to the other dragons in the game. The only complaint I have with him is that he's at the end of like a really long quest line, and I don't really like to replay quest lines every single time I replay the game, so I kind of skip out on him a lot. But besides that, he's definitely a really underrated boss, and it's just kind of confusing that no one talks about him. And I think that comes down to the fact that he is just really similar to a lot of the other lightning dragons that you'll see around the game again, but I think he's a lot more valuable than that anyway. Now, Dragonlord Placidusax is a lot more memorable because there's really not any other dragon fight like him. He has a very unique and awesome design, and one of the craziest arenas in all of Souls. I know that a lot of people think that he's just the best dragon fight, and I think there's a lot of reasons that you could think that. I do think in his first phase, because of how stationary he is, the lightning bolts that summon basically everywhere can be really annoying. His second phase is crazy though. Him flying around everywhere and teleporting everywhere, and every attack from then on is just really fun to dodge. It's also funny because this boss is like really hidden. Like the only way you're finding this boss on a first playthrough is if you're looking up a YouTube video on where it is, and it ends up being one of the coolest in the entire game. So yeah, really good boss. I just think the next ones are a little bit better. This top 3 is really hard to put together, so I could say that you could really interchange this and I wouldn't disagree that much. That being said, I think Divine Dragon lands at number 3. This is also a gimmick boss, but it's a gimmick boss done right, because everything about this fight is actually interesting. The arena, the design is just amazing, and the gimmick of having to shoot lightning back at him is just really cool in my opinion. Like, it's a really easy fight, but it just never gets boring. And for a game like Sekiro that is a lot more mechanically different than any other Souls game, I think they did a really good job. And yeah, it's not a traditional dragon boss, but it definitely counts, and it's definitely an amazing fight. This is really close, but I think Dark Eater Midir is number 2. To me, this is arguably the fairest giant dragon that FromSoft has made. It does a really good job of encouraging fighting the head instead of the legs or anything else, whereas other dragons will try and do the same thing but then punish you for doing it. So I think because this fight is designed better, it's just really satisfying to learn. It also has a really iconic arena and an awesome soundtrack, and the lead up and lore to Midir is also just really good. The only thing that I kind of don't like about this boss is that he has so much health that attempting him kind of feels exhausting instead of fun. Like, I get it, he's a giant dragon, so he should have a lot of health. It just gets to a point where your first 5 to 10 attempts will feel really annoying. But when he does click, I think he's one of the best bosses in the series. There's just one more that I'd put above him.
Curse you, Bale!
For me, Bale the Dread is the best dragon boss that the Soulsborne series has ever seen. It's still not perfect, but I think it has the highest highs out of anything on this list. First of all, it has one of the coolest presentations and arenas ever. The lore on him is very interesting. And again, while camera issues are somewhat present, learning him feels pretty intuitive. This is also one boss that I always use a summon for, being Igon, because his dialogue is one of the most memorable in the series. Mechanically, I do think Midir may be a little bit tighter, but Bale kind of combines an insane presentation with very good mechanics still. And besides some camera issues, I really have no issue with this fight. And he's also definitely just in my top 5 Soulsborne bosses in general.